This video is a little bit of a free ball with what I say. I'm not the best with scripts. I'm not the best with writing. I do have a script here I'm going to read, but it's going to kind of be a little bit of a one-take thing, so just kind of deal with that. This is more of just me letting out my feelings on what I've done as an artist, and just enjoy it. I made a post a while ago saying that when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'd remake a video I made talking about my old content. It was titled Why I Dislike My Old Content, and I'm going to tackle some points I did in that video, but it's going to go a little bit deeper than that. And my title isn't wrong in this video. I did not deserve to be called an artist. This video is going to split into three things: my awful content, how I was like a bit of an art thief, and how I believe I redeem myself with the channel and the new stuff that I do. I wouldn't make this video if it was just cringe content like everyone in the world has. I just feel like what I used to do was disgusting, and here's why I did not deserve to be called an artist. In 2020, I started my TikTok account, and it was even then when I got my first iPad since I was learning Procreate. My work was very buns, as you can see from these images I'm going to show. But we all start somewhere. These drawings were as simple as my posts. I started posting drawings, and as the time went on, I even started doing skits and stuff with my stuff. It was cringe, of course, but overall nothing crazy, as I was only 13 when I was making this content, stuck in a time where the world was doing mayhem because of the viruses going on and every bad thing happening every month. So it was just a time where I just did whatever I wanted. However, during that time, I also had and still do have unrestricted internet access, as my parents never really cared enough for that kind of stuff. So I caught myself watching things such as Hazbin Hotel or Helluva Boss, or even on TikTok there were some dark or sexual kind of content related things. That kind of stuff started going into my own content around late 2021 or 2022. I can't fully remember the dates, but my content was getting a little weird. My work had some of my characters in inappropriate ways, such as probably being flirty or just downright weird. And I even added my own self into these kinds of things. Granted, I wasn't like drawing myself into these kind of like freaky or inappropriate positions or any like kind of weird stuff. But still, it is something I should not have been doing at my own age. I was only like 13 to 14, and it kept going on and on. Here are some examples of some things that I posted that I should not have when I was a teen.
Oh my God. I am disgusted.
If this night is not forever, at least we are.
Naked girl! I am so sorry.
What's going on, huh? Drag my feet along the floor, then I see you walking across the campus, go across the study and romances.
Looking back at these, I feel disgusted over it, because being an adult now, seeing my younger self as a little kid making that kind of stuff, it makes me feel a little bit sick inside. And I just wish I never did any of that. I am lucky that my content back then never got any bigger to where I could have been into some serious trouble. I could have gone into places where I should not have and maybe have been hurt, or I just could have been seen as a bad figure in the art community. And I believe there's two reasons for why my content was like this. Number one, of course, as I said before, I had unrestricted internet access, and I had found things such as Hazbin Hotel at a very young age, which, of course, nothing against the creator, because I was a kid who found these things on YouTube. It has nothing to do with them. It is entirely on me, or maybe even my parents, but I will not put blame on them, because I probably should have known better at my own age. But the second reason my content was probably like this, and it's a bit of a deeper one. I tend to not really talk about it, but I'm not that afraid to like admit my own fault here. As a kid, I'm gonna be so honest, as a kid and even now to an adulthood, I have dealt with addiction. I've dealt with sexual addiction, things like that, with impulses, and I do believe that had a factor to play into my content, as even behind the scenes I made not safe for work art. I even had a not safe for work account on Instagram at the age of 15 when I was just posting this weird shit. I deleted it didn't last long at all, but this is still something I should not have been doing when I was a kid. And I'm going to be honest, it still kind of goes on. I still make this kind of content or these kinds of artworks. To be fair, at the age of like 17 to 18 as I am right now, it does not matter anymore. But if I could go back and stop doing those kinds of things, I would. It makes me feel sick inside looking at my old like 13-year-old self making that kind of content or those kinds of artwork where I probably should not have at all at my own age. I sound like I'm repeating a lot of things, but I'm not good at speaking a lot, so just bear with me. My work was cringe. My work was sexual, and it was disgusting as I was a little kid doing these things, and I absolutely should not have. And I'm going to show some examples here of why I heavily disliked my old stuff, and even some of my character designs and why they looked really bad and weird, or overall sexualized and overall not good. So here are some more examples.
And what can you do, my effeminate fellow?
I can suck your dick.
Ha! No.
Your loss.
This kind of content went on for a while, and it kept going and going to the point where I didn't feel like doing any of this kind of stuff anymore. And during those times, I did some things that I'm not proud of, such as stealing artwork, which is going to be into my next topic, which we'll talk about right now. During my time of doing my content, or just drawing in general, I used to make cute, innocent things. They weren't original, but I did whatever I liked. I drew my characters, and they were things like FNAF related, Gravity Falls related, anything that I liked, from doing paper art to digital art. It was just a time where I kept improving and doing my own things. I saw things that I liked and wanted to draw my own characters in that way, and I did. At first, it was innocent drawings, things you see on Pinterest, things like, draw your character in this position, like for reference. So I did that kind of stuff, and it wasn't so bad. But then I started seeing other artworks, and I started drawing over them, or as if I was tracing, but not really. I wasn't like tracing, but I was stealing artwork, I believe. It's weird to describe, I'd say. Here's what I would have done as a kid. I would redraw the background, then I would add my own characters to it, and I did this a lot. I'll be honest, this was stealing art. And I did it a lot, and I'm going to show here some examples of my version of the drawing and the original version of the drawing, and I'm going to show speed paints to show exactly what I did and why it was disrespectful to artists everywhere. And relating back a bit to the old topic, this included some not safe for work art that I did behind the scenes, which I did basically the same thing. I traced a little bit over some things and put my characters in it. And despite I never claimed these drawings to be fully mine, I did post it. And though I showed the original image of what I referenced it on, I did not fully give credit. Because I don't know where these images came from. I found them online, but it still was not right to just do stuff like that. And to my Sonic.exe fans, since I know there's only you people here, I did this with my old videos too. Now, you may thinking, not the videos from Too Slow to all the way to Faker. No, I'm talking my older content where on my YouTube channel, I posted Sonic.exe videos because, well, I've been planning this series for a long time. I wasn't able to do it in the past, but in the meantime, I just did what I liked, and I drew Sonic.exe. And how I used to make my videos was I would grab the poses of a song I like to do, like a bit of a clip of it. I would sketch over them, and I would redraw the background, which basically I'm still sketch tracing the background to make them quote-unquote better. I would recolor the things. I would add a little bit more detail, like a little more fur and stuff, more blood, more teeth, to make them, like I said, quote-unquote better. I did this with many other things too, like other Sonic.exes and stuff like Boyfriend and Girlfriend. And it was overall just very shitty of me to do as someone who's loved art for so long, and I still love it with a passion, but then I'm here doing these things. I used to do those things, and at the end of the day, I did it for the views. Because that's only what people wanted to see. That's all people really cared for on my account. I had 10,000 subscribers, but people didn't really care for anything else in my animatics or anything like that. They just cared for the artwork that was very horribly made in the way I did it. This was not me being an artist. This was me being a thief. And as I grew with my views dropping lower and my motivation falling apart with TikTok and even Instagram, because I did the same things there. That's where I posted my stuff as well. And my account was hacked. So I lost that, and I was just feeling terrible of my content. I stole, I made bad stuff at my age, and I felt terrible for it, and I felt like I was doing nothing with it, and it wasn't going to amount to anything, and I felt so disgusted as a quote-unquote artist to do any of that, and I decided that I was going to start over and make anew. On October 21st, 2022, I posted a video on my old YouTube channel talking about I'm going to be moving channels and moving TikToks to a whole new account to go back to my old roots, to make original things, to make fun animatics, to not do the content that I used to do before. And I didn't explain that in that video because at the time, I never realized what I had been doing. It was only as I grew older, as I looked back on my stuff, and I just felt terrible for it. But I moved on from my old channel to this one and made things on TikTok as well. Instagram wasn't too important since I basically did the same thing there. And I was really loving it. I loved posting animatics on this channel. Even if they were a little suggestive, they weren't like the worst things ever. And on TikTok, I did the exact same thing. I posted cool skits with my characters, no tracing, none of that bullshit that I explained before. It was just pretty cool things in my opinion. I was having a lot of fun with it. Even my first video getting 52 views, I was ecstatic that people really actually cared to like see my work. And another reason I had left my old channel was because, believe it or not, Sonic.exe people here, I wanted to leave the Sonic.exe Friday Night Fucking community a little bit. I wanted to like not make that content anymore because of the stuff I did. I wanted to move that in the past, which is a little ironic now because I have the whole series and that's all people watch me for. It's actually really insane. But as time went on, I improved my work. I no longer traced or stole artwork. I even went back to the old artworks that I traced and made original pieces out of it, like like this one and this one. It was really cool to do all of this, and I'm so glad that I moved past my old ways, how I'm no longer this tracing or like stealing loser who stole and made weird content. I'm an adult now, and I make this cool content, and I do commissions, and I just do whatever I feel like. It isn't anything like insane, and I'm just like really happy that I'm able to do all of this. Now, I'd like to mention something. I'm upset that, of course, I did that kind of stuff back then. But, in a way, I'm also kind of glad that I did it. Like, there's like a 99% of me that hates it and like a 1% that loves it. Because during that time, I was, having fun with my stuff. I was just a kid doing what I liked. I enjoyed quote unquote drawing. And another thing, what benefited from doing that is I learned and I improved my work. An artist can only grow so much, and I grew a lot from that. I learned like how to make good I learned how to like detail my backgrounds. I learned how to make my characters better. I learned how to like improve bodies and all that like good stuff. So I'm upset that, of course, I did what I did, but I'm also happy that, in a way, it helped me improve my work to where I am now. Now I make my own cool pieces of art and videos to where I don't have to do my old ways. I am able to do them free-handedly on my own, and I have been doing that for the last 2 years now. Maybe even 3. It's almost 3, I believe. But, yeah, I'm glad that, despite my little young self, as much as I want to kick him in the teeth for doing this kind of stuff. I'm glad that he's still learning from this, and when growing up, he's gonna learn to do better. I got lucky that my old content never flew. I got lucky that my old stuff never blew up because I could have been a controversial kind of person for stealing work and for making things that I should not have been doing at my age. I wanted to remake this video for quite a long time. I've always felt this deep about my old content and my old work. But now I'm here, I've learned from it, and I'm doing a lot better. And my channel is like still growing because these people actually care for my artwork and what I do with it and how I'm doing this series. And it's just so wonderful to do. If I could tell someone to my old self, I would, or if I could do something with my old self, I wouldn't stop him. But I would tell him, don't post that stuff. Just keep it to yourself. And I don't know. But now I'm here with 10,000 subscribers, which is why I remade this video. I'll even leave the old video in the description. You can hear how disgusting my voice was, or just how stupid it sounds. It even sounds stupid here, but you know, like who gives a fuck? But you know, that's just kind of it. I just wanted to really vent out my feelings about how my old stuff was, because I have always felt gross over it, and well, now I'm here just admitting it, and it's good to just get it off my chest. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for 10,000 subscribers. We really made it. I never thought we'd make it this far. I always assumed that my account was going to stay small until like a few days ago. I saw it was like at 9,900, and now I'm here like at 10,000. It's strange, but we made it, and I'm gonna continue making my videos, the Sonic.exe series you guys like so much. And I will see you in my next video. My next video is the Xenofane's origin video. My take on Sonic.exe, basically, or the FNF Sonic.exe. That's what I'm doing, the origin video. Then it's gonna be Starved. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Starved is next. I've been posting teasers. I know y'all see it. I know what y'all think. It's not Starved, but he will come after this video. I need to get back to work. I have commissions to do, and I have the video to do. Thank you for listening to my story, in a way, or my old self. I hope that you don't view me differently as what you see me as now, but just know that I have changed. I have grew, and I will continue to do my best to... continue to do my best. I'm going to keep doing my work. I'm going to keep doing what I love and not be like a disgusting piece of shit. All right, you guys take care. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.